Hi, this is Bob Rakes for the OK Association at IBC 2024. And I've been talking to Pavel Achtel of Achtel. He developed the 18K camera, which has really got the true resolution of 18K. He's scathing about a lot of other cameras that claim a huge number of photo sites but don't actually deliver the kind of resolution that you would expect. And you can read lots of interviews and conversations we've had with him over the years on the AK Association website. And in fact, his comments were endorsed by Samsung Research when we talked to their specialists in downscaling, who said, you know, we often get content in 8K containers, but it's nothing like 8K. Believe me, Pavel Achtel has been working on this for a long time, and he really does have very high resolution, albeit at a very high price for professional use only. His cameras are being used in VFX, especially in the plates, and where they really appreciate the extra resolution. He's got some interesting stuff coming. There's a new sensor coming, which he expects to be able to boost his dynamic range by as much as 3 additional stops, to up to around 20 or 21 stops of dynamic range. That's really big. People in Hollywood love to be able to get the shots with the sun in the scene as well to look really good. And he's expected to have a product for them once he's got the chips and it's been finished. I'm on the booth of Blackmagic Design, which of course showed its 12K cine camera at the NAB show earlier this year, and it's got lots of people interested. They're showing it with lots of different fittings and different lenses here with crowds of people around. We were hoping to see maybe the stereo 3D version of it, which they've developed especially for the Apple Vision Pro, but it's only in a glass case and not actually being shown in operation, and no content that I can see here being shown on it. So I guess it's not quite ready for prime time yet, but we look forward to seeing that. There's no question that 8K is a real advantage when you start to try and develop 180-degree content with decent resolution through the viewing window. Been on the Canon booth here at IBC 2024, and well, you'd hardly believe it's a Canon booth because there's not many signs saying Canon from this side, but they're showing their 8K capture with stereo lenses for VR content capture. They can capture up to 8K 60p RAW, so they can really do high resolution, which you really need to do if you're trying to capture for 2 eyes in stereo. More pixels is always useful if you're trying to do anything to do with 3D. Well, I've just been talking to Laowa, who's a Chinese lens company that makes high-level cinema quality lenses, PL mounts and all that kind of stuff. They have 8K compatible optics available, and they were announcing at this show. I said, so what's so special about you guys? And they told me that we're really good at wide angle and macro. So they've got some very wide angle and amazingly macro lenses. They literally had content touching the front of the lens that we had a look at. So Laowa, 8K, wide angle and macro, those are the big words from them. And I've just been talking to NHK of Japan, who of course were the pioneers of 8K. I asked them about 8K developments, and basically they said, well, it's done, isn't it? So although they were very disappointed with the adoption during the Tokyo Olympics because of COVID, it was a real blow in launching 8K there, they regard it technically as basically done. What they are showing is a very interesting new sensor, which is able to use variable frame rates, resolution, dynamic range in different parts of the camera sensor. At the moment, they're only going up to 1K with 2K shortly, but they do plan to go up to 8K. And that's partly because they were telling me the ITU really wants them to get to 32K, 120 frames per second for 360-degree immersive video. So they have still a very long technology roadmap to support those requirements. Red is an AKA Association member, but of course they were taken over by Nikon. And at the show here, it's really the Nikon cameras that are getting the attention rather than the Red cameras. They're also demonstrating their motion control, which they're doing with MRMC broadcast, which that's using the Red cameras rather than the Nikon ones. But it's all about movement here rather than about the cameras. I've just been talking to Vislink, who an interesting company. They're working with Focal Point VR, which is a VR company that has developed a way of capturing 3D stereo 8K from moving racing cars. They're using 8K to capture stereo 3D for headset use, and they're transmitting that using the Vislink technology for transmission and recording. They have some interesting technology which allows them to use a different resolution for different parts of the screen. So, for example, the instrument panel they're working on could be in high resolution, other parts of the car could be in high resolution, while, for example, the sky or the track surface could be in relatively low resolution. This allows them to use much less bandwidth. And it's similar to the way that the 3D guys use foveated rendering to reduce their processing load. I've just been talking with Zcam. Zcam is from Hong Kong, and they make a range of professional cameras. Their exclusive point is that they claim to be bulletproof, basically. There's a wonderful bit of Mission Impossible which they're showing on their screens, where a train, well, it's a replica train, but it looks like a train, is crashed over a cliff. This was not done in CGI, it was a real action sequence, and their camera survived the hit. So they have an 8K version of the camera that they launched in 2019. They haven't got it here, but they're aiming to have a new version out in 2025. So watch out for that. It should be an interesting one that upgrades the quality available. Bob Rakes for the AK Association at IBC 2024.